Great job, Blair.
Nate, he's singing Sinners.
Boy, tears. Go.
You have the floor.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Alright. If I start to get a little boring, just throw something at me, just in case. I first want to start off by thanking Kathy Schaefer, as well as Dave and Tammy Heine for this wonderful event and making this all possible today. Me and Mark have been best friends really ever since high school. We had the same group of friends, played the same sports. We pretty much did everything together. Then we decided to go to the same university, Indiana University. Both accounting majors. We're both finishing up our finance MBAs right now. So we have really been inseparable over these past five years, and then in college as well. We've even lived together for 5 years. That's kind of tough with living with Mark. We even had the same job out of high school. We both worked at the Parks and Rec, which leads me to how Mark and Sarah met, from my perspective at least. We both worked at the Parks and Rec, and I thought to myself, you know, we walked in that first day, it was me and Mark, and we see around us, there's like 9 other girls. And I was like, what are we getting ourselves into? Like, it's me and Mark and all these girls doing crafts. We're getting paid to do crafts with kids all day long. And it was wonderful. And then apparently Mark had his eye on this girl named Sarah Schaefer, who I worked directly with every day. And then as the weeks went on, one day Mark invited me to go to a movie with him and Sarah. I honestly had no idea what was going on. I was oblivious. I didn't know Mark was going after this girl. And then after the movie, I was driving home and I was thinking, was I just the third wheel? And apparently they had gone a few dates before that. Mark's usually pretty coy about these things, so he didn't ask my permission to go after Sarah. But then I started to think about Sarah. I work with her every day. And I had 3 main thoughts about Sarah. We would eat lunch every day together. And there's one thing she did really unusual. She ate her baby carrots like corn on the cob. She ate around the outside first and saved the middle core for last. I still don't understand it. And as I was preparing for the speech, I tried to find some research online that supported your idea. I didn't find anything. What I did find though is on Facebook, there's a group of 47 people out there that do the exact same thing as you.
47!
So you're not alone. That's a good thing. My second thought was, we usually had music playing in the craft sheds, and when her favorite song came on, she would yell at the top of her lungs, "Everyone stop what you're doing." So she wouldn't sing along though. She would hum along and nod her head. She really wouldn't sing. My third thought was, she started to call me by a different name. She never called me Nate. She started to add a Y to the end of my name. So I was always called Natey ever since the parks. And that's kind of gone on in college. She's called Ross Rossi and Zach Zachy. And sometimes I hear Marky. So even with some of her quirks, I've grown to really like Sarah. And I always have fond memories of the park. And even in college, I've really liked her around. I'm glad she was with Mark. But I should probably start making fun of Mark here a little bit. As I've been his roommate for 5 years, I think now is the time to pass the roommate torch on to Sarah. It's been a long time, 5 years. And to commemorate this new beginning of a new roommate, I've gathered a few items as a starter kit for the new roommate. So hold on, let me get my items out here.
Oh, he really has it.
What do we have first? First, Mark has never been one to be a cook. I've actually never seen Mark boil water. Disclaimer, I'm not saying I'm a good cook. No, I'm not saying that. But the first item is the snack staple of Markina. And that is goldfish. He always has at least one of these with him. Usually he has two, one in the kitchen and one in his bedroom. I've seen him fall asleep like this with goldfish. I would constantly open his door and he's just chowing away at goldfish. But my second food item has also become a staple for Mark. I've actually been somewhat impressed with him because he's delved into seafood. That is popcorn shrimp. It has become a major staple over the past 2 years. Like, it's this and one other food that I'm about to bring up, and Mark knows what that is. It is Jack's Pizza. I have never seen our freezer without Jack's Pizza. It is unbelievable. I've seen him eat Jack's Pizza for a week straight. He loves that. So, to help with it's kind of strange because the Heine family has always been known to be very clean and very organized. But if you walk into his room, you'd be very lucky to actually see the floor. There's usually clothes just scattered around with books and everything. So I got to use some Lysol. 4 or 9 actually, I don't know. And some paper towel. I'll need it. But what's kind of funny about that is freshman year in college, Mark had a tendency to collect pizza cups that were usually pretty dirty. Kept them over an entire year. And when we were moving out, Dave here kind of noticed that some of the cups were getting moldy. Mark was keeping moldy cups.
On his side of the room.
On his side of the room. But one thing is, though, you probably won't notice when you do clean. About a month ago or so, our microwave was extremely dirty. And I cleaned it spotless. Mark didn't notice for 2 weeks. No appreciation. So don't expect to be appreciated. But Mark, that's a lesson for you. Happy wife, happy life. But I saved the biggest present for last. We've been roommates for 5 years. This is going to be a tough transition. You know, Mark's going to miss me. And I found a way that I can always be with you. You know, he might start in the night quietly weeping. So I have the thing. Me, Mark, and Ross, we're all at IU, and we have tickets on Tuesday at Assembly Hall, 6 rows up behind the basket. So Mark might want to
Look for Nate's head on TV.
I might be on TV. But in all seriousness, I'm very proud to be up here next to Mark. He's been a great friend over the past years. I wish both of you absolutely nothing but the best. And would you please grab your drink and please toast with me to Mark and Sarah and their bright future ahead.
Here.